Hey, what's up, my little Tattle Tells? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you are Ben Affleck, you are trying to keep the peace between Jennifer Lopez and Jennifer Garner. Listen, we're going to get into these reports, but all I have to say is, please, Ben Affleck is forced to play referee in a brewing war with wife JLo and ex-Jen Garner. You know what? Let me tell y'all something. This is the Ben Affleck effect. Tell me how in every situation, when Ben is the problem, always, totally, completely, he always finds a way to pit himself in the middle and play victim. I would say JLo needs to run away screaming, but I think it's pretty obvious JLo isn't going to run away until she has that Emmy, Grammy, or whatnot in her hand. They said there's a simmering feud between the two Jennifers, and Ben Affleck's life is primed to explode into all-out war. Warren sources. Radar's saying that they've learned to fuse what was lit when Ben's ex, Jen Garner, indirectly dissed his current wife, Jennifer Lopez, for turning Ben into a laughing stock. Now, again, how is that JLo's fault that everybody was clowning Ben? Ben was the one looking like he had just had 14 vodka cokes before he sat down. Honestly, Ben was the one that was sitting around looking miserable because it sounded like he asked Jen for a drink and she flipped out on him. They said while an insider connected to the situation denied the accusations. Okay. Other sources spilled that JLo would now love to unleash her true feelings about Jennifer Garner, admitting she doesn't like to see stories published about the power couple. They're saying that Jen Garner said, I really work hard not to see either of us in the press. It doesn't make me look good, even if it's something nice about one of us. I don't need to see anyone in my family made into a meme, although I'm sure he's quite meme-worthy. Yes. Again, how is it? And I'll be fair, right? JLo does a lot of mess. But again, this is my being about the way Ben is always turning into somebody's pet, the family baby. Can you please explain to me how it is JLo's fault that Ben, a grown man, got dressed, put on a tuxedo, got in a car, went to the Grammys, not just as a favor to Jennifer Lopez. Let's not forget that Ben Affleck's new film, Air, was coming out in a couple of weeks. Let's not forget that he had been on a film and promotional run. Let's not forget that that is, in fact, Ben Affleck's job. Let's not forget that he has to promote stuff and play the Hollywood game when he comes out of hiding. Let's not forget that one of the reasons he was at the Grammys is because he needed to be there. And let's not forget, JLo didn't make him sit there looking mad. JLo didn't make him into a laughing stock. JLo didn't do anything but accept that Ben would take accountability for his choices. And look what's happening. If these sources can be believed, Jennifer Garner is mad at JLo for making Ben a meme. How can Ben help that? Are you assuming that if JLo had never released any pictures online, never had the hoopla about their house hunting, never had this and that, no one would have saw, cared, or memed? Nobody would have saw, cared, or memed Ben Affleck? Is that what you're telling us? Because if that's what you're telling us, I'm pretty sure this is a bunch of BS. Honestly, it doesn't matter. And let's be real also, which is probably the real reason that JLo's flipping out and Ben's a little mad. He doesn't feel like he's getting the benefit of his bargain. See, he thought, I think they both thought that they were going to be a huge splash like it was 2003 again. Don't get me wrong, people care that they got married again. But that whole thing about paparazzi stalking them and all that, it's not happening. The most attention they've gotten since they've gotten married is Ben showing up, looking like he was already hungover, even though he's supposed to be sober. Give me a break. You're telling me it's JLo's fault that Ben doesn't know his limits? Jennifer Garner is blaming JLo for not becoming his mommy/wife the way Jennifer Garner was his mommy/wife. And how's that work out for you, Jennifer Garner? That's right, he dragged you in Howard Stern and only apologized once the whole universe was like, that's pretty messed up. Now listen, they said what may sound like an offhanded remark is a real FU as far as JLo sees it. It's Jennifer's way of saying Ben looks miserable and all his appearances in public are lame. How could JLo not take it personally? The miserable part, I can understand. His appearances in public, that's not, again, Ben Affleck is the epitome of what it comes to playing victim. Every single relationship, he plays victim, and his friends and family rally around him and let him play victim. It's quite sick if you know what I'm saying, which also makes me doubt Ben's sobriety, because one of the main reasons you have to do when you're doing sobriety is to take accountability. Now, they said JLo, part of her wants to fire back and tell Jennifer off, but she's smart enough not to make too much of a scene publicly, so it'll be up to Ben to play referee. This puts, again, how's it up to Ben? I don't understand. Why is he the baby in the situation? At the end of the day, you married JLo. At the end of the day, Jennifer Garner is your ex-wife. If you're how is Jennifer Garner more mad at you than you are at JLo? And if you are that mad at JLo, how come you haven't said anything to her? How come you haven't put your foot down? How come you haven't established boundaries? Y'all, you can say what you want. This sounds like 2003 all over again. But you guys, there's more. Again, why would JLo ever check Jennifer Garner for talking ish about her when it's like, Ben, that's your ex-wife. That's what you have you don't have a problem with this woman talking ish about your wife, but JLo already knows what it is. You don't have a problem talking ish about your wife because you know he's probably talking ish about JLo. Why do I think that? Because he was talking ish about Jennifer Garner after everything she did for him. Again, he's forever in the middle of the victim. This puts Ben in a difficult position between his diva wife and the mother of his 3 children, Violet, Serafina, and Samuel. Really? JLo's the diva and Jennifer Garner is the mother of his 3 children? This article, they're saying it's Ben's worst nightmare. It's just a matter of time before those 2 women butt heads over him. They said earlier this year it was revealed that the 13 or 30 actress was focused on her children developing a healthy relationship with their new stepmom. But insiders revealed that things may have changed as Garner became Ben's support system among his alleged ongoing relationship with JLo. Sources said that the married pair have been fighting since saying I do last summer, adding JLo isn't happy with her husband's effort to kick his longtime nicotine habit. They said Jen says it bothers her to look at Ben and see he's constantly chewing gum, revealing he's been chewing nicotine gum nonstop after promising his wife he'd ditch smoking. Now Ben only smokes outside and away from Jen, and he's cut his habit way down by using nicotine gum, but he admits she hates all the gum chewing as much as the actual smoking. I will say this, right? And let's be real. A lot of people like to drag JLo, and you know I'm one of them. But let's actually be real. How old is Ben Affleck? The fact that no one sees him as a problem. Jen Garner is now in his support system. Jen, he just finished dogging you last year. Remember when he was engaged and he had to let the world know that you're the reason that he was in recovery because you tried to actually make him be father to his children? Think about it. Now, magically, a year later, Jen is his support system. Didn't you know? But now she's talking ish about JLo. That leads me to believe, since Jen Garner used to be supportive, Ben is going to his ex, talking about his new wife, making himself the victim, and Jennifer Garner is falling into old habits and defending that man without even looking or without even thinking. Unbelievable. Like, this is unbelievable. And let's be real. JLo is a lot of things. But how are we blaming her for what a grown man chooses to do and not to do? And let me just say, when it comes to the cigarettes, I get it. I honestly do. They keep trying to make it seem like it's a no small thing. I think it is a indicative of the larger problem. I'm sure before they got married, Ben made JLo all these promises. to prove to her and show her that he is now stable and he has changed. And it looks like in this time, okay, it looks like that Ben, okay, has broken even the most basic of promise. And I'm probably sure JLo's like, if you can't even promise me that you'll stop smoking, like, are you kidding me? Like, how am I, like, why? Again, JLo, I do think she has an agenda, but you know what? Ben had an agenda too. And this is what made me sick about Ben, even reading about that 2002 stuff. You are a willing participant, but when you don't get the benefit of your bargain, all of a sudden you're the victim and you want to take your toys and go home. Let me tell you something. If Ben had been universally uplifted and at the Grammys, oh my God, you look so handsome, so amazing, such a serious actor, Ben. If JLo had done all this, then I'm pretty sure, right? I'm pretty sure, actually 100% sure, that Ben would have been so happy. It's only because he got mocked for looking like a drunk mess that he's now mad at JLo. And again, Ben, how's it JLo's fault how the public perceived you? Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll talk to you later. I will say one thing. This marriage seems like it is DOA. Ben is the master of triangulation. He is super skilled at playing the victim. Yeah, this thing is DOA. I'm just waiting for that movie that JLo's going to star in to come out. Yeah, and then it's a wrap. And they're probably going to use the excuse that, they couldn't have children. And that's the excuse. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to you later. Bye.